A test of purity. Mrs. Fitz then helps Ellen prepare for a journey before dusk. Ellen proceeds to the main hall to meet with Colum, who has requested her attendance. Ellen suspects that Dougal informed Colum about Brian. She insists that none of what he says is true. Furthermore, what Dougal did was worse. Colum claims he isn't worried about Dougal. However, Henry is here on behalf of the Grants and has a request. The letter from Lovat questions Ellen's virtue. So the Grants have requested a purity test to see if Ellen still retains her virtue. E.W. Henry apologized to Colum, maintains they will comply. He hopes Ellen passes it for everyone's benefit. Dougal informs Ellen that she made her bed. Ugh. This entire incident represents patriarchy in action. Dougal goes to a Jacobite gathering and provides money without the laird's authorization. He doesn't even receive a slap on the wrist. However, Ellen is spotted with one man and is forced to prove her virginity in a humiliating test since males are concerned with controlling women. The playing field is so unequal that we don't even share the same zip code. Ellen. Brian reunites with Lovat. Lovat expresses hitherto unseen concern for his kid when Brian describes nearly being captured by the Redcoats. He explains how Brian is now beneficial to him. After all, he had deflowered Ellen Mackenzie. The Grants will now end their alliance with the Mackenzies and re-establish their relationship with the Frasers. Brian says it is not like that, he adores her. Later, Lovat attempts to pull everything together before having sex with Julia. Of course, he cannot, owing to the monk pepper. Lovat begs Julia to grab more food. Perhaps the spices will assist the fox get out of his lair. They will not. At the same time, Bollah leads the drunken minister back to his kirk. Bollah kills him. Then while Lovat sleeps, Julia discovers Henry's correspondence on his desk. She knows her husband's handwriting and signature. She now knows that he works for the Grants. Unfortunately, Dougal separates Ellen and Brian. He hits Brian before a group of redcoats arrests him. Dougal grabs Ellen and yanks her by the wrist. He can't believe she would socialize with a Fraser. Dougal threatens to inform Colum about this. Ellen responds that Colum will be upset to learn that his brother is handing up the clan's riches to fuel a revolt. N discharges his pistol covertly. Dougal threatens to inform Colum about this. Ellen responds that Colum will not enjoy hearing about his brother handing up the clan's riches to fuel a revolt. Murtagh witnesses someone stealing his horse. Brian pushes Murtagh to mount his horse. However, Murtagh chooses the one next to Dougal. The resentment goes deep. Later, Julia comes at the main hall, holding William, to discover Lovat and the pastor. It's marriage time. Lovat tells that he has recruited a wet nurse to feed Julia's baby. Henry rides a horse. Bring the kine back. Colum and Ellen are then told by Ned, Connor MacNeil, that the Grants believe Dougal stole their livestock. Ned reveals that Dougal was transporting their cows, or kine, to the market in Crieff. But he continued on to the house of Nairn for a livestock auction. Ellen interrupts, stating that there are no cows in the house of Nairn. The Nairns, Lord and Lady, are Jacobites. Ellen is aware of this as she corresponds with Margaret, Lady Nairn. Ellen pretends to invite the Nairns to her wedding in order to offer to pick up Dougal. She will discourage him from going such Jacobite gatherings in the future. To persuade the Grants that their kine was not stolen by the Mackenzies, Ned says he would speak with their bladier. During the christening, Lovat announces that his child is his namesake, but we know the truth. After the christening, Brian notices Murtagh filing out with the other attendees. He tells his father that he must speak with Murtagh. Lovat wants to chat with him, too. Murtagh's a popular fella. That's for Ellen Mackenzie. Brian goes outside and gets punched by Murtagh. He says Ellen is to blame. Brian says he didn't know who she was until it was too late and apologizes deeply. By then, he was already completely smitten with Ellen. Murtagh says that rather than the fact that Brian and Ellen fell in love, it hurts more that Brian kept this knowledge from him. From the church entrance, Bollah, Chick Allen, watches this altercation. The clergyman then starts to complete the marriage and birth record. He is stopped by Lovat, who says they can accomplish this at Castle Leathers once they are more ready. Lovat gives Davina instructions to organize the luncheon for the minister's arrival the next day. Lovat converses with Brian and Murtaugh. He is stopped by Lovat, who says they can accomplish this at Castle Leathers once they are more ready. Lovat gives Davina instructions to organize the luncheon for the minister's arrival the next day. Lovat converses with Brian and Murtaugh. Lovat requests an update on the Jacobites from Murtaugh. With an open mind, Murtaugh intends to attend the meeting at the House of Nairn. He is able to determine Clan Fraser's proper allegiance to the Jacobites. Murtaugh is told by Lovat to bring Brian along. When the time comes, he advises Brian and Murtaugh to recognize what and for whom they are fighting. Brian asks his father what would happen if he didn't show up for the meeting after Murtaugh departs. Lovat makes threats against Davina. He is aware that if his mother's life is in stake, Brian won't say no. Bala is informed by Lovat that the lads will resolve their disagreement while traveling. At least Brian will not attend the wedding the next day. Lovat intends to give the minister enough cash so that he would comply with the laird's requests. To make sure, Jacobites and chasteberries. Ned finds out that Henry's hunt for Julia is over before he departs. Ned is sorry. Henry intends to break away from Clan Grant. He is skilled at permanently vanishing, the stones. They split up. As Ned leaves, Arch walks in, saying that they have to confront Rob and hold him accountable for taking their cows. Henry says he needs to take care of business first. Ellen eventually makes it to the Nairn household. She invites Margaret and her husband to the wedding after engaging in a lengthy conversation with her. Margaret is aware that Ellen is there for a different purpose, though. Ellen explains that she thinks her brother is present. Dougal, Sam Retford, greets Brian outside. Dougal and Murtaugh get along well. Murtaugh asserts that Brian is a cousin who lives far away. Rob Roy McGregor is also introduced to Brian. Like Brian, Rob observes that he is an outsider. Julia approaches Davina for help elsewhere. Lovat wants to have sex with them. Julia intends to utilize her monk pepper, also known as chasteberry, to add flavor to Lovat's cuisine. He will become impotent as a result. Davina is on board. The two women started laughing uncontrollably. I'm happy that these two have become buddies. Ellen locates Dougal before the Jacobite gathering begins. He's obviously confused to see his sister here. Ellen claims that she is there to fetch Colum home on his behalf. The Mackenzies will not look good if they collude with the Jacobites. To Caledonia. Ellen locates Dougal before the Jacobite gathering begins. He's obviously confused to see his sister here. Ellen claims that she is there to fetch Colum home on his behalf. The Mackenzies will not look good if they collude with the Jacobites. Rob speaks to the audience. Ellen sees Brian. Their eyes meet. Brian seems like the epitome of a puppy that is desperate to find affection. There is also Marcus MacRannoch, Dominic Fraser, who occasionally adds commentary. The party decides that the time has come to overthrow the Hanoverian government and reinstate Stuart authority. Dougal gives Mackenzie some cash to assist pay for the impending uprising. Men are shown displaying a large chest. Ellen chastises Dougal for making a financial offer without getting Colum's consent. Henry inquires as to whether he left Julia's jewelry in Seema's room. Seema gives it back to him. She implores Henry to bring her along. In the hopes that it may help, he hands her a bag of coins. Henry says he has lost a lot of things over this period, including his wife and child. In addition, he needs to return to Claire, who is in need of him. He walks away. Seema is crying. I brought several friends. A bonny girl in the conference then diverts Dougal's attention. He orders Murtaugh to stay with Ellen while he follows said lass into another room. Ellen inquires as to whether Murtaugh is a Jacobite. Murtaugh maintains that he promised.